What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Game Theory's Can Anyone Save Amanda the Adventurer? Now, for all those that don't know what Amanda the Adventurer is, I'm not going to go into too much detail if you never heard of this game, but I'm going to try putting it into the best summary I can think of on the top of my head. Something happened. It involved someone named Amanda. We're trying to solve what happened. It has multiple endings and multiple scenarios where you can get game over. Honestly, I love that kind of genre kind of stuff. The possibility of every action you do can lead to different results. It's a really, really interesting subject, and I have to admit it's my favorite kind of video game genre that people use. But yes, with this said, that is just the basic information when it comes down to it, though. There's other stuff to be said and all that, but I think we can wait and until the video starts to actually get into it. So, yeah. So, I hope you all enjoyed this reaction video. If you did, hit the like button below. Hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when the video comes out. And if there's any videos you'd like to recommend that I should react to, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll react to it as soon as possible. Finally, the link to this video is going to be down in the description below, so be sure to check down there for the original video, and be sure to give Game Theory some love and support for the video that they made that I'm reacting to. Now, with this all said, let's get right on into this video, shall we? Okay, let's go.
I know how Amanda the Adventurer is going to end. Despite only having a demo for the third installment and only one puzzle to solve, it tells us everything about Amanda, her story of betrayal, and how we may already be too late to save the day.
Yeah.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show whose favourite media format is VHS tapes. Every time a video game includes these artifacts from the distant past, or as I like to call it, my childhood, you just know that something spooky and creepy is going to happen. And that couldn't be more true of our favourite knockoff Dora the Explorer, Amanda the Adventurer. What started as a kids-friendly show has revealed to us a dark backstory of a creator who got into bed with the wrong people. Hamlin Entertainment took advantage of him and put his adopted daughter Rebecca into the show, literally, along with summoning a few demons on the way. And if the name Hamlin rings a bell, it's because it turns out Hamlin Entertainment is essentially part of a cult-like group that goes all the way back to the Middle Ages, just like the real story of Hamlin Town and the famous Pied Piper folktale. Hamlin is now using Amanda, to lure more children away from their homes and, as we theorized, put them into the show as objects with eyes, making it so they could never be taken away again. And now we've been given a demo for the third and final installment of this series, which means all of our questions about this franchise will be answered when it finally releases this fall. But fear not, theorists, though the full game isn't here yet, this demo has already told us exactly how this game is going to end, what Rebecca's fate truly is, and how our character Riley will be the one to finish Hamlin once and for all. Better hit rewind on that tape, my friends, because we are diving into the past of Amanda the Adventurer.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, and one final reminder. Next week, on August 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing our big FNAF Secret of the Mimic live talk back. We are going to be talking about all things Secret of the Mimic, its gameplay, its mysteries, and of course, its lore. With our good friends John FNAF, Rye Toast, ID.
So this must be a live thing. I don't know if I should really react to it. Maybe if it's short, sure. But if it's an hour-long thing, I don't know. Because I don't know if you're all going to be interested in seeing an hour-long video where I'm just listening and knowing facts of everything going on. I don't know. I'm going to leave that one up to you all. That's all I'm going to say about the matter.
Space Fantasy, Hyperdroid, and Dorko. Given how crazy this game was, this is going to be a truly wild one, theorists. So make sure you're subscribed and tune in next week, August 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. Across these games, we have been playing as Riley, who discovered this whole Hamlin conspiracy after investigating her Aunt Kate's attic. We learnt more about Amanda and her fluffy companion, Wooly.
Oh, wait. I just realized. By the time this video is uploaded, it's already going to be the 16th. So never mind. But I think they'll leave it at least Turing. I think they'll release it though. But I mean, you get what I mean. Basically, it's gonna be out. It's gonna be out in the public. Whether it was a them going live or a video recording about all their facts and statements, we'll see. Again, your choice. This video might come out late though. I'm not gonna lie, because as I mentioned with the whole during the time with the Pokemon Emerald thing, too many types, everyone remembers that? Well, do remember that, as I said, I am trying my best to make sure that I get everything done on Honkai Star Rail so I could just complete it and do the run crossover everyone's was talking about, which was its HSR and Fate Stay Night. So, yeah. Probably gonna put that to be too focused into that, and to the point that it's gonna cut into editing and all that. So fair warning on that. Fair warning. So yeah, that's a thing.
As well as finding a bunch of tapes about demonic entities, one of which we had the lovely opportunity of meeting face to face. In the second game, we headed to the public library, only to be cornered by another demon, this time Woolies. And then we escaped through a secret hatch to go and free the kids that had been going missing. So naturally, I figured this third game would follow on right from where we left off. And at first, that does seem to be the case. Having climbed down the hatch, we are now in the sewers. But when you actually hit start, you are transported out of the sewers and a cutscene begins.
It's me, going into there. Seems they've upped their security since my last few visits. That's a good thing, though. Means we're onto something.
During this, we see clips of the Hamlin facility that we've seen in previous installments. Rebecca with officials in a hospital bed, all that jazz. This man goes on to mention meeting Kate at a location for the handoff. And it's at this point that we hear the mysterious man get spotted, and we take control to start doing the thing that we do best, snooping for that sweet, sweet lore. There's only one area we could go into, though. A small office with a meeting room. There are a few things you can pick up and look at, including a famous painting of the Pied Piper, just in case you hadn't been theorizing about it since the first game. But the one item that's important is a key card which lets you into the security room. And once you're there, you see several what appear to be stasis pods. Past those is a room filled with security cameras. You insert a tape to begin downloading the data, but as you do, Amanda begins talking to us like she usually does, asking for us to help her on a scavenger hunt. This is where the game portion we all know and love really begins. We're asked to find items like a door with 3 windows, an old sock, a stray dog, and a power line. All of which, in Amanda's TV world, are objects with eyes on them. And all of which correspond to an image on one of the stasis chambers in the other room. Jackpot! Bingo! Yahtzee! All of the sounds! I knew we were onto something. These pods must be where Hamlin has been keeping the children that they've lured away from home. Now, all trapped and plugged into the system, ready to be put into the TV show as these objects.
Damn.
While this is all going on, the facility is going.
That's wait, actually, what year is this? Is this like current era time, or like now they're talking about a kids' cartoon with VHS tapes. So, not current era time. So that... What the frick? Huh. Guess we're doing a FNAF thing, I guess. Future technology in the past. Yeah, okay.
Going into lockdown. Fortunately, solving Amanda's scavenger hunt is actually the key to deactivating the alarm. Man, intruder alerts are getting complicated. We had pretty high security when I was at Disney, but I didn't have to watch an episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse to turn it off. Anyway, by matching the correct images to the correct breaker switch, we end the lockdown, the tape downloads, and the guards arrive. We slip the tape into one of the boxes and get taken down. After which, we jump 10 years into the future where Riley escapes the library and we are left with the message, find Rebecca, find Amanda, find her. Okay, that's a pretty clear goal given to us there, and honestly, we've been kind of trying to do that anyway. So the real question is, who is asking us to do this? I mean, it's most likely the guy we're playing as, but who is that? They're doing a real good job of hiding their identity. I looked everywhere online and couldn't find anything. Clearly, they're well aware of the benefits of using our sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is great for keeping your information private. They don't track,
No. I'm not taking any sponsors or anything that someone did or anything like that. Okay. One more, maybe? Okay, yeah, there we go.
Character's identity now, so I'm just gonna go back to the video now. Up until now, we've been playing as the unknowing Riley, but in this demo, we jump back 10 years and play as someone who clearly knows what's going on. They're going into Hamlin, collecting information, and putting the data on tapes. But notice the tapes he uses. It's not the classic black like most of the VHSs. It's bright red, like the secret tapes that we've been collecting over the last 2 games. And it's in these secret tapes that we have found the footage being shown at the beginning of the demo and all the other information surrounding the real-world mystery of this show. My first instinct was that this had to be one of the only men we've really seen in the series, one who would have a reason to try and...
Okay. But the question is, how did they get there? Did the tapes form have like a possession kind of thing to where the beings inside are bounded by the tapes, and if you have at least 1 or 2 or all of them of another set, it just follows, or I don't know. But yeah, I think you get my point basically. Like, how did the tapes get there? I want to make my theory before he says anything else, because I want to take a crack at this. So, my thought is that when getting all this data, this person, whoever they are, had to separate the tapes in different locations just in case, so that all the information wouldn't be in one exact spot, so it could just be traced back to so no one can trace it towards its location and take them all. So they have to separate it into different locations and provide one more clue, which goes to the character we have been playing as, and just bam, do all this to free the kids and bring justice to this corporation. Yeah, I think that's the case. But along with that, a manifestation of Amanda and Wooly. I think I said the character's name right. Anyway, I think the 2 of them like had a tape or 2 or a group of tapes like being possessed by their spirit, so that might be the case here. I don't know, but I like to think that might be the correct situation going on here.
and take down Hamlet, the creator of Amanda the Adventurer, Sam. In these videos, we see someone sneaking around a hospital room to look at Rebecca, and so I kind of attributed these things to Sam as he tries to figure out what's really going on and how to save his daughter. But after looking at it more, I realized it can't be Sam that we play as. Firstly, there's his voice.
That's gotta lead to the security room.
We have heard a lot of Sam's voice in previous installments, and even when he's speaking more solemnly, he's got a clear low register.
If I do this, you'll let me see her?
While this new character seems to have a slightly higher register, because speaking in this quiet low register is producing a lot of vocal fry and cracking, so it doesn't appear to be the same voice. There's also the factor of previous theories we've had. Just like Rebecca is actually Amanda, we have believed that Sam is actually Wooly, which means that we can't be playing as Sam because Wooly is right there in the video we interact with. But the final clue comes down to the clips we were given during that very first cutscene of the demo. When the player is talking to Kate, the clips used during this are moments found in the secret tapes of Amanda 1 and 2, specifically moments that involve Rebecca and Sam.
What is this? What is she reading?
It's pretty tricky to film handheld footage of yourself from a third-person perspective. Believe me, I've tried. Basically, there's no physical way for this to be Sam that we're playing as. And thinking about this realistically, it's likely going to be someone that we just haven't met yet. We have encountered a few other male-sounding characters through these secret tapes, but none of them are really invested in this mystery like Kate is. There just isn't anyone at this point who fits the bill. It's like when we found out who the masked figure was in Amanda 2. It was the sister of one of the lost children. No one really expected that one name on that one sheet of paper to turn out to be a crucial story character. So it's likely that this is going to be a similar thing. A character who hasn't really been a part of the series and yet, in a way, has actually been part of it since the very beginning. The one who has been creating the secret tapes. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll end up being Ash's favorite character.
I'm me, DJ Two Shades.
But for now, I guess we can just simply call him Tape Guy. But that only solves part of the mystery. Their identity, or lack thereof, doesn't exactly help us figure out what's going to happen in the next game. And all we have left is a simple puzzle like we've experienced in previous installments. However, much like we saw in the Amanda 2 demo, I believe they've chosen to present this specific puzzle because it has a much deeper meaning than you may initially realize. In that previous demo, we kept being shown an opossum, and so we looked into folklore surrounding opossums and what that might symbolize to tell us about the story. So I wondered whether the images we're being asked to search for in this demo, the ones on the stasis pods, maybe held symbolic meaning that could help give us the answers we seek. For example, one of the things we have to look for is a stray dog. If we look into the world of interpreting dreams, and let's be honest, if you're in a coma-like situation as we see Rebecca in, it's basically just an elongated, though slightly more precarious sleep. Dogs represent loyalty. I'm sure we've all heard that a dog is man's best friend, that they always stick beside you, so that would make a lot of sense, but the dog Amanda finds is not friendly. It's snarling and aggressive, which drastically changes the meaning. An aggressive dog is an omen or a sign that your loyalty has been betrayed. By this point, we already know that Amanda, or rather Rebecca, was tricked into signing papers and becoming a part of this weird TV experiment. We also know that she feels betrayed by Sam thanks to the end of Amanda 2, where Sam is forced to tell Rebecca to do whatever Hamlin says, even the awful stuff she was put through. This dog is conveying Amanda's emotions, how she feels about these events, and confirming information we already know, which leads me to believe we're on the right track with this interpretation business. So let's analyze some more. Another item we have to look for is an old sock. Now, you might think a single old sock can't possibly have psychological interpretations to it, right? Wrong. A single old sock, interestingly enough, can represent unresolved issues in life. Wearing only one sock means something's not quite right. It feels unnatural. Maybe I should let Matt know, although it's not like I see him around the office anymore to tell him. But regardless, this once again points to Rebecca's emotions. Rebecca has unresolved issues, the big one being she's trapped inside these tapes and has not been able to escape. But that's not all we get from this sock.
Here it is, smelly old sock.
And believe it or not, the smelliness carries its own meaning. It represents neglected self-care. The sock is being left to decay. Amanda has told us before about how she's rotting away somewhere.
Sometimes I feel myself rotting, but it's feels far away.
Her body is being neglected, and her dilemma is trying to get back to her body to free herself. It's unresolved, and she needs to resolve it so that she can feel complete once again. Yeah, turns out you can learn a lot about a person through a sock. And to really hammer in the trapped, helpless analogy, she sends us to look for a power line. The one in the TV show is broken, sparking all over the floor. And as you probably figured out by now, this absolutely means something. A tangled or broken power line can represent blockages, unresolved issues, or feelings of being restricted or held back. Something we've already mentioned for the other items. Broken power lines can also represent powerlessness and frustration. Again, things we definitely know Amanda is feeling. Then there's the first object we are asked to look for.
A door with 3 windows.
Now, the literal definition of a door with 3 windows doesn't have a lot of meaning in dreams or any spiritual context, but doors and windows in and of themselves do, and it has to do with looking into someone's soul. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, eyes are the windows to the soul, but here there are 3 windows, 2 next to each other and 1 at the top in the middle, which in most media is a way of depicting the third eye. A third eye represents someone's ability to perceive beyond their reality, their realm, their current dimension. In a way, that's what we've been seeing Amanda doing in the game. Even though she's in the TV show, she can see and manipulate the environment outside of the TV. When we complete a task, an item appears. If we upset her, she sends her demon counterpart to kill us. The door with 3 windows represents Rebecca's soul and its ability to communicate with us in the real world. But what's the point of all this? I mean, we know most of this already. What we want to figure out is how to save her. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it might already be too late. While looking at the interpretation of power lines, I noticed something odd about how Amanda refers to them.
Do you see a sparking snake around here?
I get that she's a kid, but this is meant to be an educational show, so why call it something that it's not, unless she's deliberately trying to communicate a hidden message. After doing some internet sleuthing, I discovered that sparking snake is another name for the fiery serpent found in Slavic folklore. A serpent that, surprise surprise, shoots out sparks when flying. In the story, the serpent would seduce women and trick them, normally with something they greatly desired, only for the gift to turn into horse manure by morning, becoming ultimately worthless. This deception would also result in the women experiencing things like severe weight loss, hallucinations, and eventually death from withering or rotting away. Now, as I've mentioned, the idea of rotting in this franchise is nothing new. Amanda's been telling us she's been rotting since the very first installment. Heck, even the apple in the logo has slowly begun to rot with each new game, with this third one being completely decayed. She was tempted with something by Hamlin, becoming famous, money, whatever it was to get her to sign the contract. And it wasn't long after that Rebecca realized what she was promised was worthless. But even still, as she said, it always felt far away, like it was happening slowly, like it was something we might be able to stop. But remember the dog I mentioned earlier, the one representing loyalty? Well, that isn't the only.
Yeah, but there's one thing I'm a bit curious about, because it has been mentioned here and there. The things in the videotapes with eyes, they're kids, right? And the possum was technically a human. Well, a human child at the very least. But still, if that's the case, does that mean the dog is the same as well? And if that's the case, doesn't that mean that each one of these items is connected to a person that is trapped? And this trapped person shares a similar feeling to Amanda. For the dog, it might be the case scenario that, I don't know, someone that was close to the head directives, and they got betrayed in the end, and basically, well, they got trapped in here. And, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, for like the sock, no, sock is an actual item. So if the dog is a person, it might represent that. But for the power line, that has to be connected to someone. So someone might have the same experience there to Amanda. As for a door with 3 eyes, that must mean that there might be a third supernatural being. And that being is going to be related to that person. So if the house is that, or they're super spiritually powerful. Either way, I think there's a point being made there. I think. I might be wrong completely, and it could be something else completely different, but that is my guess on the matter.
Interpretation there is. One of the cultures we looked at during the second game's demo was Mesoamerican cultures, due to the reference of the Island of Dead Dolls, the legend of a girl who drowned in a nearby canal and began to haunt the island. Saying it again now, I really should have seen it at the time, but now, with this demo, it's painfully obvious. In Mesoamerican cultures, Zolos, the American hairless dog, would be sacrificed along with the deceased to act as a guide for the departed. It's also worth noting that Amanda actively avoids choosing other objects available to her, like the tree or the flower, things that represent growth, revival, and health, because that is the opposite of what she is feeling. She is telling us it's more than just being betrayed. It's more than just rotting away metaphorically in a hospital bed somewhere. She's telling us that Rebecca is dead. She had been rotting away, but this has been going on for more than 15 years at this point, and now it's too late. Her physical body is gone, and all that is left is her soul within these tapes. That doesn't mean the mission we've been given is completely pointless though. Last time, after destroying the tapes and the bad ending, the monster kills Joanne, and we realize that Amanda and her monster have actually been trying to help the missing children's souls. Rebecca wants us to save them and finally escape the nightmare that she is lost in. While we might not be able to save her, these other missing children are in the stasis chambers, trapped in the show. There is still a chance to rescue them. Like the painting of the Pied Piper in the meeting room, we are about to enter the dark cave that the children were lured to, and it's going to be down to Riley to put an end to this and save everyone else from the clutches of Hamlin. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory! Thanks for watching. World premiere on Game Theory. The giggle...
Yeah, okay. That last part is no doubt probably going to be the most true statement here. Because, I don't know, just seems about right. Because, let's be honest, that would most likely be the situation given us trying to save the kids as, like, a last thing that Amanda wants to do. So, yeah, that actually might be the case here. But overall, I do think that, well, this is going to be the case scenario that there might be a third being. I mean, we didn't expect the second being to appear, but it came in the second game. So, there is a large possibility that there's going to be a third being. Not like 100%, but like 80% sure. Because I don't think I can say that it's ever going to be 100%. But yeah. Though with this said though, not much else to really say in this matter. I think it's pretty much stated clear what's going on here, what's expected, what we're gonna have to do, and all that. So yeah. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when the video comes out. And yeah, with this all said, hope you all enjoy, as I said, and I'll see you all next time. And tell me what you think, what your theories are on what's going to happen next in Amanda, the Adventure, in this part 3. So yeah. Anyway, again, as I said, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.